Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am your host, Vortex from MobileMusicPro.com, your home for mobile music production. And if you are new to the channel, what we do here is release weekly videos teaching people how to produce music on their iOS device. And in today's video, we're going to be giving you our top 5 picks for the best AUV3 instruments of 2021, right after this. And remember folks, if you do enjoy this content, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share out the show. Now today's video is the third installment of our Best of 2021 series, with the previous weeks focusing on the best synths and the best effects apps. And next week we'll actually be concluding the series with the best drum apps of 2021, so definitely make sure to stick with us. But for this week, we'll actually be focusing on the best instrument apps of 2021, and spoiler alert, there is a lot of pianos. Now, of course, all these apps will have their own unique sound, even if they are similar instruments. Plus, it's important to note that all of these pianos will sound much better than most of your stock pianos inside of your DAW. So if you are still using those stock pianos, maybe think about checking out one or two of these apps. And finally, just a quick reminder that these are just our top 5 picks, and we definitely want to hear back from you. What were your favorite instrument apps released this year? Make sure to leave them down in the comments below. Alright, and now with that intro aside, let's start taking a look at these top 5 instrument apps of 2021. But first, we'd just like to offer our usual disclaimer here in that this isn't a tutorial video on how to use each and every one of these apps. Instead, we'd just like to quickly demo them to you and show you what we think makes them so special. Alright, now let's go ahead and get started with our very first app. And that is going to be the Swarm Instruments by Audio Modeling, currently available for $29.99 per instrument. This incredibly powerful physical modeling technology is now mobile. These instruments are not sample libraries, but instead are generated based on sophisticated algorithms. With these instruments, you now have the unique ability to express yourself with all the emotions and subtleties of their physical counterparts. Now we do have the app pulled up on the screen, and as you can see right away, it is absolutely beautiful. All the apps that we'll be demonstrating today is of course going to be in their AUV3 format. Now, as we said, all these Swarm instruments are incredibly expressive and have a ton of different options. You can just see, for example, if we start exploring some of the expressivity, you can have options to adjust the expression, vibrato depth, vibrato rate, bow pressure, and bow position. In addition to that, you have different play modes, where you can adjust left hand or right hand, and adjust your polyphony as well. And you can also adjust the timbre in here as well. And then you can get even more advanced with the pitch and the tuning. But we're not going to really get into all that today. What I want to do here is point out a couple of really cool features. And one of those features is the ability to quickly go through different violins. You can see we have the left arrow and right arrow, and when we start tapping on the right arrow, we can go through different violins. And there's at least 5 or 6 different violins here that you can check out. And you can just keep on going round and round until you have seen them all. Now before we do hear what this app sounds like, I do want to point out one really cool feature here. When you minimize the AUV3, you can see that you still have all your main controls here, nice and accessible in this smaller window. Anytime an app makes an effort to actually make the small version of the AUV3 window work really well and look really good, I have to applaud and say thank you so much. Because not all apps do that. In fact, there are many AUV3 apps that look absolutely terrible and are almost non-functional in their smaller window inside of the AUV3 format. But that's a video for another day. Now this is just the violin instrument. There are a ton of different instruments that are available from Audio Modeling. What I have here is a few different MIDI sections to hopefully give you a pretty wide range of what this sound can sound like. And before I forget, pretty much all of the MIDI that you see here is coming from either one of our MIDI packs or one of our melody packs. There's only a few things that I played in here, for example in the violin track, these first 3 clips. But the 4th clip is MIDI coming from our brand new Kingdoms melody pack. And then the rest of the MIDI clips here is either coming from our Neo Souls MIDI pack or our Pop MIDI pack. So definitely make sure to check those packs out on our website at MobileMusicPro.com. So now let's hit play. As you can hear there were all sorts of different play styles like legato for example, and really this instrument absolutely nails all the detail in those different playstyles. And it's just absolutely super fun to play. So absolutely an amazingly realistic sound coming from each and every one of these different SWAM instruments. Again, powered and backed by that revolutionary physical modeling technology. And the next app on our list is going to be MK Sensation Extreme by MidiCulis, aka Gospel Musicians, currently available for $24.99 in the App Store. Now, the MK Sensation Extreme is a continuation of their famous MK Sensation plugin library and represents the highest quality and the most accurate sample representation of the classic MKS-20 piano module. It also comes with a new emphasis on live performance and includes an absolutely incredible amount of stacking control that rivals all other electronic pianos on the iPad. Now, we do have the app pulled up here, and as you can see, it really is a nice and organized interface. Pretty much everything you need is right here on this one screen. Now, there's a couple things here that I want to point out that I really love about this app. And the first of those is the ability to easily stack sounds. So right now we have the EP Stackables preset pulled up. And as you can see, there are a bunch of different presets in here. And you may be wondering why you see the word stack everywhere, like Gospel Stacks, Tyne and EP Stacks, or EP Stackables. And let's show you why. And that is because MK Sensation Extreme is basically the equivalent of 8 different pure synths in one single app. And you can access each one of those individual synthesis engines by tapping on a number here. So for example, what we'll do is we'll just disable all of these except for the first one here. And now you can start out with just this individual sound, which is the S7X Grand. And then you can enable one of the other 8 sounds by first tapping on it, and then tapping on its number here, and making sure that it is in fact unmuted. Because a lot of these presets do come with some of these sounds muted by default as to not confuse you. Now you can see here that we have both 1 and 2 lit up, which means it actually is going to play both of those at the same time. So let's just prove to you real quick that these are different sounds. So we'll disable and enable 1 and 2. So let's disable 2 and enable it. Let's enable some more. And you can just keep on going until you can enable every single one of these pure synths. So what this app effectively does is make it really easy for you to blend and stack your own sounds. Again, we have a couple of different MIDI clips here, some playing melody, some playing chords. So we can hopefully hear what this app sounds like as best as possible. Alright, absolutely beautiful sounding there, super lush, super creamy. And if we make this full screen again, I just wanted to show you the sheer amount of sounds that this app comes with. So we have our main preset browser up here that's going to load in all the different pure synths. But then in addition to that, on each one of these individual pure synths, you then have an additional sound browser where you can choose from all these different things from keyboard, strings and pads, synths, bells, vox, and much more. Just gigabytes and gigabytes of sounds. I think in total this app comes with over 10 gigabytes of sounds, and it comes with the option to load those sounds on an external hard drive if you'd like. So just a ton of high quality, fantastically sampled sounds available in this app. It really doesn't matter what genre of music you make, MK Sensation will probably have a sound in there for you. And the next instrument app that we have on today's list is going to be Pure Piano by eInstruments, currently available for $26.99 in the App Store. Now, Pure Piano is a professional, multi-sampled concert grand piano with a unique morph pad that allows you to explore a multitude of sounds ranging from mellow and intimate, all the way to surreal, cinematic, and more. It's equipped with professional effects such as customizable reverb, EQ, delay, and much more. Now we do have the app pulled up here, and unlike the previous apps, we don't have it in full screen mode. You can make it in full screen mode here, but you really don't gain any additional benefits there. So we really do have to commend some of these AUV3 apps that look absolutely amazing in minimized mode as well as full screen mode. Because the minimized mode, that's the tricky mode to still make look good and make very functional. So again, we have these different 4 clips that are going to be playing, but this time I actually created an automation. And that is, depending on which clip we're on, I've actually moved this to a different part of the piano. So this app does come with this modulation circle where, depending on where you move it, it's going to sound different. For example, if you move it up, it's going to sound more cinematic, or if we move it over here, it's going to sound more like a pad or mellow. And they have additional choices in here like intimate, percussive, bright, and detune. So let's set this back in the center for now, right under pure here. And let's now hear what this app sounds like. So you can see there towards the end, I was kind of bouncing back and forth between intimate and mellow. And that's really what makes this app special, is the ability to blend between these different presets here, depending on where you set this fader. Or not a fader, I mean this little circle here. You can really get some drastically different tones depending on where you set this thing. And the best part is that every single one of these settings, every single one of these presets sounds fantastic. So no matter what the need is for your production, whether you need a pad or something more cinematic or even something more bright, really, no matter what the project that you're working on, you're probably going to need a piano, and at least one of these settings is definitely going to sound great. And the next app on our list is going to be Waverly XL by Rob Jackson, currently available for $6.99 in the App Store. Now, Waverly XL is a sample-based instrument or rompler and includes several additional sound shaping options accessible via 10 different parameters. The instruments have been created using well-known virtual analog hardware synthesizers with additional processing using its own effects engine. Now, as the description said, this is more of a rompler than any type of synthesizer, so I did put it inside of this instrument category. And the preset that we currently have pulled up is XL Warm Fizz. But before we do play this MIDI, I do want to go over just a couple things that makes this app special. And the first is the ability to switch between 4 different settings for each one of these presets. It actually very much reminds me of the Alchemy synth, which is now currently inside of GarageBand. But it makes for auditioning different sounds really easy. And the next thing that really makes this app special is its unique sounds. Pretty much every single one of these sounds is going to be very evolving, very pad-like almost. But there's also some great leads in here as well. This app works really well with almost any single electronic genre, and even a bunch of pop genres as well. But specifically, I really love using it for synthwave. So let's take a quick listen and hear what this sounds like. While it's playing, I am going to be switching back and forth between these 4 different settings, and then maybe we'll try a couple of presets after that. Once again, we have a couple of different MIDI clips here to hopefully explore as much expression as we can for this instrument. So let's hit play. Just super gorgeous synth sounds in here, super well sampled. I can't begin to tell you how much I really love these presets. All of them are really just super incredibly lush. I really don't have many other adjectives to describe these sounds except for lush and extremely pretty. Now let's just give this one more run through and try a couple of different presets. So again, really bright, really lush, really poppy almost sounds. There's just not really that many instruments out there where every single one of these presets can create a vibe by itself. So if you do make any type of electronic music, even pop music as well, definitely make sure you check out Waverly XL. And the final app that we'll be taking a look at today is Octane by Tize Music, currently available for free but has in-app purchases. Now Octane is designed by producers for producers and is the new go-to audio plugin. With tons of presets and effects ready to go, Octane is designed to set the vibe for any music producer and find the sound for your next hit in seconds. And they are really not joking about the presets. They have a ton of different presets in here. In fact, if you do pay the $3.99, you'll get over 700 presets. And let me just say right out the gate, the number one thing I love about this app is those presets. Because unlike other apps, all of these presets, literally all of these presets, every single one, pretty much all 700, are designed for modern sounds, are designed for modern genres. So that means if you make EDM, pop, or trap, there's going to absolutely be sounds in here for you. And I don't just mean regular sounds in here, I mean really, really good sounds, sounds that you will hear in top 40 records. Now this app did have some problems when it first launched and upset a few people there with a couple of bugs, but it does seem to be pretty stable now and as you can see is working completely fine in AV3 format. Now the patch that we have loaded up right now is Zay's Piano. And of course that is short for Zaytoven, the popular hip-hop producer there. So let's hear what this preset sounds like right now, the Zaytoven Piano. Let's minimize this real quick and hear what we got. So just a really nice and lush modern sounding piano there. And once again, we have to give the developer praise for making this app very usable and looking beautiful in the minimized version of the AUV3 format. If we maximize this, you can see that it looks exactly like the standalone app here. But when we minimize it, you can see that we have the main thing that you'd be going through in minimized format, and that is the preset browser. But you can also adjust the effects and the different layers, and even have an arpeggiator here as well. So now let's go back to the main here, the main screen, and make this maximized. And just show you a couple of different categories here. So you can see they have everything from guitar, lead, organs, plucked, strings, synth, and much more. And again, every one of these sounds is going to be usable, because I have seen some apps, I have seen some synths, I have seen some instruments with hundreds of presets, and pretty much not one of them usable. And that can be extremely frustrating. So when apps like this come along, it really is a breath of fresh air. Wow, I have dyslexia today. A breath of fresh air. Just go through a couple of these different presets here. So first, let's take a look at the guitar pluck. So just so many great and usable sounds here. There's even a bunch of cool settings on here, for example, like a trance gate that's great for electronic music to provide that pumping sound. And there's even a lo-fi section over here that when enabled will make everything sound lo-fi. So to me, it's really, really clear that this instrument was absolutely made by producers for producers. So if you do produce in any of those popular genres, EDM, pop, trap, or more, definitely make sure to check out this instrument. All right, and now it's time for our final thoughts. And if you are still rocking with us, then we just can't thank you enough for being here. And we especially can't thank those folks enough that are here every single Wednesday and Friday to watch our live streams and our live premieres. Now, as we mentioned in the last couple of videos, there weren't quite as many apps released this year, so some of these categories were actually easier to decide than others simply due to lack of choice. But nevertheless, if any one of these apps ever makes any one of our top list videos, especially our best of year videos, then you can rest assured that the app is probably pretty useful and definitely high quality. And like we mentioned, this was just our top 5 picks, but we really want to hear back from you. In fact, we've really been enjoying reading everybody's comments and seeing what everybody's choices were. And there's been a ton of overlap as well, so it looks like we have pretty similar tastes. And speaking of high quality things, we just released a brand new pop guitar melody pack this week called Vibes. This pack is going to come with 20 super fire melodies and 60 stems. And those will include smooth electric guitars and crisp acoustic guitars as well, perfect for creating lush pop hits. And as usual, this pack will have an introductory offer of being 50% off for the first 2 weeks, with its normal pricing returning on December 27th. And of course, we always have a ton more content coming your way, folks, so if you do want to pay attention to everything that we're doing over here at the channel, everything from contests to giveaways to sample packs and much more, then definitely sign up for our completely free mailing list at MobileMusicPro.com. And so, until next time everybody, keep talking music and we'll see you later. Hey everybody, Vortex here, and if you're not aware yet, we now have over 100 fully edited mobile music tutorial videos. And we make music every single Wednesday live on our channel right inside of CUBASIS on our iPad. Plus, we also have a bunch of free sample packs, guides, and more at our website at MobileMusicPro.com/free. And so if you are into that sort of thing, producing music on your iPhone or iPad, then definitely make sure to subscribe and check out the rest of the videos on the channel that we know you'll love.